Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another Canadian winter. Just a few days ago it was 18 degrees Celsius, and now, well, as you can see, it's snowing. Jeff passing through here today. I'm in Burlington, Ontario, visiting the historic Ireland House Museum. This beautifully preserved farmhouse dates back to the 1830s and tells the story of one of Burlington's earliest pioneer families. From original buildings to fascinating artifacts, it's a chance to step back in time and see what life was like here nearly 2 centuries ago. Let's head inside, get out of the snow, and explore. Come along with me. In 1820, Joseph Ireland owned 200 acres of land, and by 1847, his land holdings had amassed to over 1,000 acres. These are aerial photographs of Ireland House and farmland. The earlier photograph was taken in 1934, and the later image was taken in 1992, the year after Ireland House was opened as a museum. The Ireland story is as much about a house as it is about a family. Joseph built Ireland House in 1837, and it was John, the youngest son, who inherited the farm and homestead in 1869. In 1917, George, his 10th child, took over the farm, and in 1972, the farmhouse and property was left to his only child, Lucy Marie. As we begin our visit to Ireland House, we actually enter from the back of the home, stepping into a place that quietly holds nearly 150 years of Burlington's history. What makes this place particularly special is that most of what you see here actually belonged to the Ireland family themselves, preserved and left behind when the house was eventually turned into a museum. Right away on the wall are 2 portraits, Joseph and Ruth Ireland, the original owners of this house. Joseph emigrated from Yorkshire, England, and between 1835 and 1837 he built this home on what became known as Oak Ridge Farm. One of the first things we see is a cast iron stove built right into the wall. The design allowed heat to radiate through the wall and warm multiple rooms at once. Next, we move into what was known as the sick room. This space had an important purpose in the 19th century. When someone in the household became seriously ill, they would often be cared for here. It also doubled as a place for funeral viewings, with the adjacent parlor serving as the gathering space for family and community members paying their respects. Stepping into that front parlor, we can imagine how formal and important this room would have been. Parlors were reserved for special occasions, entertaining guests, holding important conversations, and moments of remembrance. Moving onward, we enter the living room, where portraits of John and Elizabeth Ireland hang on the wall. John was one of Joseph and Ruth's son, and the first member of the Ireland family to be born in this house. He later carried on the farm and helped expand the family legacy here.
These doorways are very low.
Children needed the more space a little bit.
From the living room, we pass through to the dining room, where the centerpiece is this beautiful fireplace. Meals here would have been an important daily ritual for a large farm family.
They painted it as well.
And on the wall here is a family photograph that includes George Ireland as a young boy, representing yet another generation growing up in this home. Now we head downstairs into the basement, where we find the original kitchen. In the 19th century, kitchens were often located below the main living areas to keep heat, smoke, and cooking activity away from the rest of the house. Just behind the kitchen is the original cellar, with brick floors and brickwork that have survived from the early days of the house. Cellars like this were essential for storing food throughout the long Canadian winters. Here you'll notice several spinning wheels, reminders that families like the Irelands were largely self-sufficient. Wool and flax would be spun into thread and eventually woven into clothing and textiles. In the adjacent room, we see a laundry area along with several butter churns. There's the traditional manual churn, and then something much more unusual, a dog-powered treadmill butter churn. A small dog would walk on the treadmill, turning a mechanism that churned cream into butter. It's a perfect example of the inventive ways people used whatever resources they had available on the farm. Heading back upstairs, we move into an addition to the house where the summer kitchen is located. During the warmer months, cooking here helped keep the main house from overheating. You'll notice the two large doors that open to the outside. These made it easy to bring in fresh supplies, produce, and other goods directly from the farm. Nearby is the wood chopping and storage area, where fuel for the cook stoves and ovens would have been prepared and stacked. And right here beneath us is something essential for daily life, a working well and hand pump.
It's still a fully functioning well, no reason it shouldn't be. The water level rises and falls.
Next, we move forward in time into the 1920s kitchen. Here, we see a fascinating little object, a miniature stove model. Salesmen use these as promotional tools, and if a family purchased a full-size stove, the miniature version might be given to children as a toy. Nearby is the actual full-size stove, representing the modern technology of the early 20th century. Taking a look around the entire kitchen, one of the standout pieces is the Hoosier cabinet. These cabinets were incredibly popular in the early 1900s because they functioned as an all-in-one kitchen workstation. This one still contains many of the original tins and containers used for ingredients, and it even features an automatic flour sifter, a small but impressive convenience for the time. On the wall here is a period telephone, and incredibly, people can reach the Ireland family simply by dialing 4. Now we head upstairs to the bedrooms. One of the first things you'll notice is how low the ceilings are. This wasn't a design flaw, it was intentional. Lower ceilings helped conserve heat during cold Canadian winters, keeping sleeping spaces warmer. These bedrooms reflect different members of the Ireland family who lived here over the decades. Simple but beautiful furnishings, handmade quilts, and practical furniture tell the story of a hardworking rural household. We will also briefly see the stairs leading up to the attic, which once housed additional sleeping quarters for children. Traditionally, the girls slept on one side and the boys on the other, making use of every bit of space in the house. Finally, we arrive at Lucy Marie Ireland's bedroom, preserved much as it was when she passed away. Lucy Marie was part of the last generation of the Ireland family to live here, and she had a dream that this home would someday be preserved for future generations. That dream eventually came true. In 1987, Helen Ireland Caldwell, the executor of Lucy Marie's estate, sold the property to the city of Burlington. After restoration work, the house officially opened as Ireland House Museum in 1991, allowing visitors to step back in time and experience the story of the Ireland family and Burlington's early rural life. Walking through these rooms today, it's easy to see why preserving places like this matters, because every object, every photograph, and every worn floorboard helps tell the story of the people who lived here before us. Should you visit Ireland House Museum for yourself someday, be sure to stop by the gift shop, shown here. And folks, should you have enjoyed this little tour, please give the video a thumbs up. A like really helps me out, helps my channel grow. A comment below of what you thought of the tour really tickles the YouTube algorithm and makes sure that the video is shown to many other people to enjoy. I would love it if you subscribed and followed me for some more adventures. In the meantime, I'm Jeff passing through Burlington today, here at Ireland House Museum.